What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Today we're doing something very exciting that I've been waiting to do. It is the Stage 1 Plus MAPerformance intake, plus their tune that comes with it as well. This is an intake that they make in-house, and it is been proven to do about 25 wheel horsepower and about 36 wheel foot-pounds of torque, so it's pretty exciting. This is on a 2016 WRX. In my previous video, I got my access port, so I did a reaction on the 91 and 93 off-the-shelf Stage 1 tune. It's just an all-stock car. It definitely opened up the gearbox, and it kept the power. The turbo didn't feel like you were just losing power after like 4,000 RPMs. So it was definitely a lot better. I feel like the car should have came from the factory like that as well. It's kind of crazy just to see the difference between a reflash on a stock car with just the Cobb access port. But today we're going to be installing this intake, and it's going to be MAPerformance's Stage 1 Plus. And I've been hearing and reading that it's a lot more aggressive than Cobb's tune. So we're gonna be putting that on today, and then I'm gonna be doing my reaction video, just my reaction to the difference between that and the Cobb as well. Yeah, let's get started. This is gonna be not necessarily a how-to video, but I'm gonna try my best to do this intake install step by step, just by winging it. It doesn't really come with instructions, but I think it's pretty self-explanatory. You just take the stock intake off, put your MAP sensor in the MAPerformance intake, and then put the coupler on, bolt it up, and hopefully you don't have any leaks. But MAPerformance provides this intake. They make it themselves along with their J-pipes, and any part that you purchase from them, like their access port, and there's different packages like a Stage 1 Plus, Stage 2, and so on. So if you buy those, you get maps to download to your access port for free, which is awesome. So if you bought an access port and you just wanted to reflash a car, an all stock car, that map comes with your access port for free, which is pretty sweet. But if you were to purchase a MAPerformance reflash or a Plus One or their E30 blend reflash, you'd have to purchase that separately. But it's pretty sweet that they actually provide those tunes with their products that they sell. So today we're going to be installing the Stage 1 Plus intake, and then I will be downloading that map into my car as well, and hopefully we got some good turbo noises to go with it. Let's go! The hydraulic hood latches, because that shit's so annoying to prop open with just a stick, and these are just so convenient, and it's a nice feature. But yeah, all stock motor, and we're gonna install this intake. So we got to get the car jacked up, undo the not the skid plate, but the plastic covering down below. And then I'm not sure if I'm gonna keep this or not. I've seen some people just leave it on, but I guess we'll see what it looks like when everything's bolted up and whatnot. Then we gotta get rid of this stock airbox, and there's a couple bolts down below. And then we are also going to install the heat shield that goes right there. And then also in my next video, I am gonna get an IAG ALS, and I will be installing that as well. And then while I have the car jacked up, I might as well just change the oil too. I picked up some Motul 8100. I must say I do like the look with the engine cover off. And I didn't really realize how small that intercooler is. Maybe I'll, down the road, I'm not sure if I'm gonna keep a top mount. There's a couple of options as far as top mounts go. And at that point, if they're, neck and neck with price, you might as well just go for a front mount and, just, do yourself a favor and get cooler IATs, and basically, just get rid of that and create more room for other mods down the road. But as of now, I'm just gonna leave it, and then, I don't know, I'm kind of in between what I want to do, but I definitely need to change my charge pipe. This thing is just, I don't know, there's so much plastic on this car. I didn't realize it until I just got like a good look, and yeah, as I'm looking at things that I need to take apart, I didn't realize how much plastic there is. But yeah, there's a lot of potential. This car's gonna look really nice. I got a lot of ideas that are going through my head. So started from the bottom, now we're here. Get it? There's one bolt down below that holds the bottom part of this box in that you're gonna wanna access first. And then once you complete everything on the bottom, you can then move up to the top and then just start taking the air director to the box apart. It's just 2 pop rivets, one right here and one right here. And then that is a 10mm bolt down there. And then this should just be able to lift right out. Also, don't forget to unplug your MAF sensor. And then these are just 2 tiny little Phillips heads, which I don't remember if it's replaced or not. They replace it with Allen key bolts for the MAF sensor, which is really nice. Look at this. Guys, look at this. Somebody come look at this. What the fuck is that thing? Like, I heard that was something with, resonators and condensation reservoir or whatever, but like, really? No wonder why you can't hear the damn turbo or the blow-off valve or recirculating valve, whatever the hell is on this thing. I'm very ignorant, by the way, when it comes to this motor. I have never owned a Subaru, so what a great way to start out. My journey is just as fresh as anybody else that's following this channel that doesn't know anything about Subarus. If you know everything about Subarus, don't watch me because it's probably going to be cringy. So watch my Eclipse videos. That's what I'm known better for. Yeah, look at that. A lot more room for activities. And then once you get the other part of the box out, there is a additional nut that you have to unscrew right here. And then this is the spacer that you will use for the MAPerformance intake. And then get it all undone. Let's see if I can bobble this with one hand. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, this is so stupid. That was way harder than it had to be. But yeah, there's your stock intake piping. Do your best not to touch it, but then you're going to want to take the washers and Allen bolts that came with your kit and then get this put into your MAPerformance intake. And then once you get everything connected securely, go ahead and take your heat shield that came with your intake, and it's going to be a Phillips head here, a Phillips head here, and then a 10mm bolt that holds in a ground right there, and that secures your heat shield nice and secure. And then also be sure to grab your MAF extension cable. You're gonna wanna get that plugged in ahead of time, because when you put the filter on, it'll be a little difficult to get your hand down in there. But once that goes in, go ahead and repeat the steps below to remove everything, like the guard, the splash guard down below, all the pop rivets, and then the 2 bolts that go with it. And then drop your car down and we'll move on to flashing the car. And it's all back together. I lowered her back down on the ground. I also drained the oil while it was up still, and then I just refilled it with some new oil. So for those that are wondering too, there's always a debate on which oil is best. I've been on a few different sites, MAPerformance as well, and I also went straight to Motul, and I typed in my car's info, and it shows other brands of Motul, but under the if you scroll down and click other options as well, it does say that 8100 X Clean Plus is a safe option. It does recommend it's severe class, meaning that you should change it every 3,000 miles. I think what I'm gonna do is I'll do it this time only because I bought it. And then I replaced a Subaru genuine OEM filter. And the next time I'll do the FE, I think is what it's called. I don't remember exactly. Motul's new. I've never used it before, but that is okay to use. So don't think that if you did what I did, you bought the wrong oil. So with it all put back together, unfortunately, I'm not able to start it tonight and reflash it and do like pretty much the fun part, but I live in a residential neighborhood and it's pretty quiet right now, and also my daughter is right there. She's 3 months old and she would be super pissed, and I would not get any sleep. So we'll just have to continue this video tomorrow morning. All right, so we're a little pressed for time. I'm running late for work, but the kid had me busy all day, so I wanted to take care of her before I, obviously took care of my personal interest. So we're gonna turn the car on, let it idle up, and once it reaches optimum temperature, MAPerformance said that's when you can go ahead and reflash the car. So we'll just quickly go through those steps, and this is the first startup. Let's do it. Okay, so now that we're at optimum temperature here, let's turn the access port back on with the vehicle off. And now we're going to reflash the car with the MAPerformance Plus 1 tune. I hope it doesn't blow up. Tune, change ECU map. Verify the ignition switch is in the on position. Just gonna turn that off. ECU reflash. Turn the radio off. Oh yeah. 2016 WRX MAPerformance Stage 1 Plus intake with 91 octane. Not to turn off vehicle or unplug this access port. It always makes me nervous. I don't know, like from videos that you watch, is it gonna take forever? Should you actually have your battery plugged in? I guess there's a good reason for that. So if your battery dies in the middle of reflashing, it could cause some catastrophic failure, and it could seriously mess up your engine and your computer. So it's probably always a safe idea just to have like a piggyback. Please turn and leave the ignition in the off position. Begin vehicle reinstallation. Continue. The vehicle must remain off for the entire duration of the reflash, may not fully complete. Please turn the ignition key in the on position so the access port can begin the reset procedure. And just hit continue. Change map successful. Please turn the ignition key to the off position for at least 15 seconds before starting vehicle. Let's do it. Show current map. 2016 WRX 93 octane in the tank currently, just for that extra protection via knock, but otherwise I would have went with 93, but you can just never trust 93 gasoline, depending on like the quality of the gas from certain gas stations. Shell is probably the best place to get 93, or any of your fuel for that matter, but this will be an E30 blend soon enough, so I just left it at 91. All right, so it's the next day. This is my first experience with the intake and the MAPerformance Stage 1 Plus tune. So I'm gonna take it out for a spin and do a second gear pull and just kind of get a feel for like how the car drives, and then also you know, see what kind of the butt dyno basically says. So without further ado, let's go. The throttle response is so much more. I can hear my turbo. Oh, there is a turbo in this thing, isn't there? Well, I'll spank my ass. I can actually hear my intake. Wow. Wow, that's the most giddy feeling ever. I just said giddy. But that's the most giddy feeling ever, just to hear your own turbo finally for the first. It's like hearing your child say its first word. Oh, I am rock hard right now. Son of a bitch. I've been missing out on that the entire time. I drove this thing for half a year without being able to just hear that. Oh my God. I know it's really not that big of a deal, but holy shit, that is the coolest thing ever. I can't wait to feel what this thing does on a second gear pull. The sound alone is just, I mean, it just puts a smile on your face. I don't even know what the pulls necessarily feel like yet. I hope that the camera can at least pick this up. Oh my God, it sounds so good. You gotta be tugging my dick right now. It's an MAPerformance Stage 1 Plus tune with their intake. Wow. It pulls so hard in there's no lag, and it's so linear. The RPMs are so linear. It doesn't just hit peak boost and kind of just like hang out there anymore. It's just like it pulls all the way through the RPM. Wow. Even downshifting with RPM rev matching feels a lot smoother. I'd have to say this is probably I've had a supercharged car. If those that followed me in my 4G Eclipse build, I don't think that was fun, but I don't think that it will ever compare to this. Like, this is the coolest thing ever. Now I get the addictive, I want to hear turbo sounds that people say all the time, and this is, wow, I'm blown away. Just to hear the turbo for the first time, like, you could kind of hear it with the stock intake, and you knew it was there, and then you would feel it at like all the way up to like 4K RPMs, but to be able to hear it and then just pull all the way through, it's such a game changer. This feels like a totally different car. Just the intake and the Stage 1 Plus tune. This is 91 octane tune. I should have went for the 93 because it's everywhere here in Northeast Ohio, but I plan on going E later, so I didn't really, it's not that big of a deal. But wow, I give this a solid 10 out of 10. I haven't even really felt like what a hard pull is yet, so I was just kind of going easy on it because the car's not necessarily up to temp. It's at 169 degrees oil temp. And when it hits about 180, I'll do like a full, like 6,000, I'll probably take it to red line. We'll do like an actual full pull and see like how it feels. Go like second, third, maybe fourth gear. But let's wait for it to warm up and then we'll do like a full pull. Of course there's a cop behind me. Why wouldn't there be? It's like he knew that I was gonna do a pull. He was at that light and he said, "Look at this motherfucker. Let's pull over." Why is he creeping up on me? I'm doing 40 and a 35 and he's gaining on me. Of course he is. Why wouldn't he be following me? Oh, he's going into the school. If you like this video, hit that thumbs up. Be sure to follow. I'm definitely going to be uploading a lot more content now that I actually have something to work on. And pretty much any overtime shift I pick up, my wife's okay with me buying car parts with. So we're going to just start a list and just tackle it as we go. Next is definitely going to be the IAG AOS. As far as difficulty speaking, it's kind of a pain to install, but I think it'll go smooth. I mean, it seems pretty straightforward, but I mean, like I said, there's always a difficulty. And then next on the list, we're gonna do a J-pipe. I wish I could have did it all at the same time while I had the car apart underneath, but MAPerformance intake, MAPerformance, J-pipe, and then I'm gonna go with the R400 NVIDIA. It just seems to be the popular one, and I really like the sound clips from what I've seen on YouTube. So that'll be, as far as air, induction and exhaust, I think that's gonna be my setup. I'm still undecided if I'm gonna do the top mount intercooler by MAPerformance or if I'm gonna do like a front mount intercooler by, I think it's called XS Turbo or something. But anyways, we'll just keep going as we continue to fall more in love with the Subi. I definitely am hooked. It's a lot of fun. Just the Cobb tuning alone with the stage 1 off the shelf was, the car was, in my eyes, fun to drive to begin with, but like once that access port opened up the potential, it's just like a totally new car. So with that being said, I will see you guys in the morning.